almost the same amount of oil as Venezuela. And that really shows gives a sense as to how difficult it has been for Venezuela, even though they're sitting on what effectively is, I guess you could call it a gold mine. So it certainly is very, very, very challenging. I think, in fact, just to give you the figures, Venezuela right now produces somewhere around 0.91 million barrels, 910,000 barrels of oil per day. Guyana, as I said, which has not too long been in the business, is producing about 620,000 gallons of oil today. Colombia, again, very closely within that same range, about 770,000 barrels of oil. And that really puts Venezuela, the 21st largest producer of oil, Guyana being the 23rd largest. And that really pales in comparison to the major players right about now. The United States right up on the top with over 13 million barrels of oil produced every single day, followed by Russia with 10.2 million barrels of oil. And then Saudi Arabia, of course, with 9.2 million barrels. Of course, the difference there, in the case of Saudi, most of that oil is being exported. The vast majority of it is being exported. In the case of the United States, a lot of that oil is, of course, is being utilized domestically within the United States of America to support their economy. Russia, of course, too, is a significant net exporter of oil, similar to Saudi Arabia, and the country that comes after that as well, Canada, which produces over 5 million barrels of oil per day. So Venezuela really was no longer a major player in terms of actual production of oil right about now. But the potential to change that, and in fact to possibly even become the world's largest producer, is there. And this is perhaps exactly what the United States is trying to bank on, that they can in fact get back into Venezuela, that their businesses can in fact begin to get back into that industry and change around this entire scenario, of course, to the benefit of U.S. Corporate interest. Now, that, of course, is all going on in our back door. And there are other issues afoot which are also tied to the United States, that of the ongoing efforts at ICE, ICE interdictions, ICE operations that are going on across cities in the United States of America, hunting down illegal immigrants. And of course, the big question is, where do they go? And of course, the effort at play right now by the United States is to find new hubs effectively for some of these immigrants, and so of course the desire to share them with the Caribbean has been something that they've been toying with for some time, since the Trump administration has been around. And we are, of course, now seeing a number of countries in the Caribbean, in the Eastern Caribbean, being brought on into those programs as potential countries for the hosting of individuals from these countries. So very, very interesting, of course, as to how it's all going to be panning out, and whether, in fact, it could be a net benefit to St. Lucia. According to the Prime Minister, for example, one of the things that within the Memorandum of Understanding, which is allowing for this discourse on this matter, is that the recipient country will not be accepting individuals with criminal records. And of course, we can well appreciate that we already have our hands full enough in respect of challenges as it goes to crime. We've seen it over the years, the whole matter of deportees being a major concern to many of our islands right here, with individuals being deported. Some of them never really spent very long in in these islands. They may have left as children and then went across the United States, got involved in in illegal activity, in criminal activity, and then, of course, because they were born in these islands, they ended up being deported. And so we've seen over the years this concern about deportees, and of course, it has had its impact on criminal activity right here in St. Lucia. Of course, we also know that a lot of what we're dealing with in terms of guns, a lot of those guns are, in fact, coming out of the United States. They're being purchased in the US, uh, finding themselves illegally into barrels and into appliances and all sorts of things being shipped down to the Caribbean. And we're seeing a lot of that having an impact on the state of crime right here in St. Lucia. And so, no doubt about it, crime will continue to be a matter of concern and a matter that we definitely need to be looking at. Even as it'll be very interesting to see whether the quote unquote um, efforts at trying to deal with Venezuela and narco trafficking, whether that is in fact going to continue to the extent that it was occurring perhaps in the lead up to the Maduro capture. But we'll have to wait and see. But either way, we are seeing some successes by our very own police right here in St. Lucia. And in fact, just today, an announcement coming regarding the seizure of over $3 million in cannabis through a major maritime interdiction. And just to share that story very quickly before we end the dish of the day, law enforcement officers have dealt a major blow to the illegal drug trade following the seizure of more than $3 million worth of cannabis during a high-level intelligence-driven operation conducted by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Inspector Siobhan Matthew, officer in charge of the Guns, Narcotics, and Firearms Unit, detailed the operation, which was executed on Sunday, January the 11th, involving coordination action by multiple specialized units. According to Matthew, officers attached to the GNFU, Central Intelligence Unit, Marine Unit, and the SSU executed a carefully planned maritime interdiction after receiving credible intelligence about a foreign vessel suspected of smuggling controlled drugs into St. Lucia. Quote, acting on intelligence, officers intercepted a foreign vessel believed to be involved in the illegal importation of controlled drugs into St. Lucia, Matthew said. During the operation, the suspect vessel attempted to evade authorities. The individuals aboard reportedly abandoned the vessel and fled on foot, successfully escaping capture. Their identities remain unknown. A thorough search of the vessel led to the discovery of a massive quantity of suspected controlled drugs. Subsequent forensic examination confirmed the recovery of approximately 850.42 kilograms of compressed green plant material believed to be cannabis. Police estimate the street value of the seized drugs at EC $3.4 million. The vessel was secured and transported to a police facility while the drugs were taken into custody for processing. Both the vessel and the scene were examined in accordance with established forensic protocols. Quote, investigations are ongoing to identify the individuals involved and to determine the origin and intended destination of the drugs, Matthew stated. No arrests have been made at this time. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force has reaffirmed its commitment to dismantling drug trafficking networks and strengthening border security through intelligence-led and multi-agency operations. Quote, we remain resolute in disrupting drug trafficking activities and safeguarding St. Lucia's borders, Matthew emphasized. Authorities are urging anyone with information related to the incident to contact the nearest police station or the Criminal Investigations Department. Of course, that coming from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And in fact, we're also looking forward to this Thursday a press conference being put on by the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to give, I suppose, no doubt, details regarding the year gone by in terms of crime and how things are looking forward towards the year 2026. That's our dish of the day. And when we come back, we're taking our weather report.
This has been The Daily Dish.
Island style, yeah. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. We'll have to make the right choice. Island style. Whoa. We got the time that will make you happy. Island style. Oh yeah. We make your dream come alive. In Island style.
We have tiles and thin sets, mixes and ground. Everything you need is on the outside. For the best price and the latest style. Take a little drive down to Island Style car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. Quality rice, service choice. It's all at Island Style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Belarus and Rodney Bay on the John Compton Highway, Cass Street, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewport Highway. So call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style, Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And that's all, of course, so the 1.1 is now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath. Forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. The winds will be blowing from the east in near 17 miles per hour or 28 kilometers per hour. Weather partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with brief light showers. The forecast for Lesser Antilles, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with brief scattered showers over the Windward Islands. Over the Leeward Islands, it will be fair to partly cloudy with a few showers. And the weather summary, the Atlantic high pressure system will maintain light to moderate easterly winds across the region during the next couple of days. Weak unstable conditions associated with a mid-level trough will cause periods of cloudiness with brief scattered showers over the central and southern Lesser Antilles. Meanwhile, patches of low-level clouds drifting along the wind flow will produce a few showers over the northern portion of the region during the forecast period. And this has been your weather forecast as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath.
This has been RCI's weather news. For more information, call the weather hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Island Style, yeah. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. We'll have to make the right choice. Island Style. Whoa. We got the time that will make you happy. Island Style. Oh yeah. We make your dream come alive. In Island Style.
We have tiles and thin sets, mixes and ground. Everything you need is on the outside. For the best price and the latest style. Take a little drive down to Island Style car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. Quality rice, service choice. It's all at Island Style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Belarus and Rodney Bay on the John Compton Highway, Cass Street, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewport Highway. So call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style, Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. Of course, we've got about 15 minutes to go before the hour of 2 o'clock. And if you like, you can call in to the program to tell us what's on your plate today, what's happening in your neck of the woods, and maybe there's something juicy that you can share with us. So you can do that by calling in to 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. And don't forget, you also have the other option of reaching us via our WhatsApp. That of course is available. And let me just share that number with you. It still has not been committed to memory. It is 284-6001, 284-6001. And of course, you can call in or message in on that number. And as well, you can do so via our Facebook live feed as well. Let's take a call at this time. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom. And what's on your plate today? Hi, good afternoon, caller. How are you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Mm. Well, let's hope that we don't get any blood being spilled anyway, any more blood being spilled anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, caller, thanks very much for your contribution. I don't know that we can in any way support any violence, of course, anywhere in the world, and let's hope that it will not come to that. Of course, we are not trying to be naive in any way, because obviously, when you see what has occurred in the case of Venezuela, it is effectively an act of war. And the most constitutions around the world, that is how it would be perceived. and one could very well expect retaliation. But of course, at the same time, we were hoping that we've gotten to a more mature point. Clearly, we have not, because that is still how things are panning out. This kind of action which we witnessed on January the 3rd. Let's take in another call at this time. Good afternoon and welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today? Very good, thank you, caller, and all the best for the new year to you. Everybody's good, thank you. Oh, he's good, very, very good, thank you. Well, I think he's probably in the same boat with everybody else. Outrage, that this is something that is continuing to happen in our lifetime. That. Well, that is also very true too, because well, you're also hearing even the friends. Even the friends of Venezuela, the people who countries we thought would have, had a very special interest in not seeing this roll out in this way. Your Russia and your China. They, well, many and many are perceiving their silence. Exactly. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but you see, caller, we have to be. Yes, but then we see we still have to be very careful in terms of the use of such language, because at the same time, the reality is when we make, yes, but when we make those generalities, you're then basically saying that you don't want anybody to now begin saying you're going to be attacking a person on the basis of their. Yeah, but you cannot. We don't want to go down this road that anybody is going to be attacked on the basis of their nationality, right? You follow what I'm saying? So that is certainly, yes, of course. What the actions that we've witnessed, in my opinion, are very wrong. They should not have occurred. They clearly are. Mm, well, I mean, when yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Caller, let me put it this way. Let us put it this way. The St. Lucian dream for a lot of St. Lucians is to go and live in the United States, For a lot of St. Lucians, that is that is a desire that they have. And we can also be naive in the fact that there are a lot of St. Lucians. Well, I'm not saying that this is a right position. I am not saying. Mm. Mm. I mean, yeah. At this point in time, clearly, you. Of course, of course, of course, of course, it is, and so therefore, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But and he's doing it. If he's doing it with his to his own people, of course, housing, the housing issue. How are you going to support them? And then, of course, well, all of those things would have to be, yeah, yeah. You got to be thinking about all of those things. Mm-hmm. 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 So, right. House arrest. Yes. Maduro's in New York. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's what he's saying. In fact, he's already said, look, I mean, for him to make a comment that he is the one, I mean, virtually the president of Venezuela now, that's a he well, maybe even more than the Western Hemisphere. Maybe he thinks he's the president of the world. But he right. I mean, it at mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It well, very much so, and yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's and that is the thing. Everybody is looking at their own turf. Everybody is saying, well, we are big powers. We are the elephants in the room, right? And if one elephant is deciding to flex, and the United States is flexing in its part of the room, Russia is feeling very much thankful that the United States has done what they've done because they're already doing it with Ukraine. It's right, exactly. So I can flex some more, right? That's what they're going to be basically saying. I'll flex some more, and of course China is also looking at it and saying, hey, I I need to do the same, you know. So it is certainly going to be it's a very very slippery slope at this point. Well, the United Nations has been toothless for a very very long, from perhaps the start, you might even say. It's a good. Mm. I mean, Trump's actions in and of themselves just recently, in terms of pulling out or in indicating his intent to pull out of 60 UN related agencies and institutions, he's sending a very clear message. He may not be pulling out of the UN itself, but he's certainly all out of the other institutions surrounding it. He's saying, hey, you know what, this is a waste of our time. So if you guys want to go and play in this thing called the UN, y'all can go and do that. So it's like I'm playing it by my rules, and my rules are the only rules that matter. And that's how he's approaching it right about now. But my thing is, what we have to be very careful of is, yes, there's clearly a situation where he is the president, the head of state of the most powerful country in the world, and he therefore is the commander in chief of the most powerful military in the world right now. And that is the dangerous thing that we are dealing with more than anything else. And if his own country cannot rein him in, then that says quite a lot about how this entire thing needs to be played out. Countries. That is true. That is also very, very, very true. Caller, some people don't know those words, those very nice words you use in there. Charity and mercy. They don't know those words at all. It's charity, yes, but it's also it's paying their own farmers, and it's keeping the peace in the rural, the Midwest, and in those places. So it's charity at home in the first instance. Yes, I mean, yeah, but all of those things is what he's pulling out of. Yeah, so there's no desire for soft power. It's clear. It's all about hard power at this point. Nope, nope, no. He's yeah, yeah, yeah. Thankfully, in the blessing here is that the world has almost sort of moved on beyond the United States in terms of the economy, but we have not. We clearly have not, right? We in our little neck of the woods, we're still highly dependent. We're highly dependent on the United States for nearly everything. And yes, yes. And it is a major risk because you would think if they're rising, we will rise too. And if they fall, right? If they're falling, then we're gonna be the wave. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what's clearly going on. Yeah. All right, caller. Thanks very much. Have a good one. And of course, we're a little over time already here, but we have the rest of the week to continue to look into the very many serious happenings in our part of the world right now, and the implications as to how it is all going to unfold over the next couple of months ahead. So certainly lots to be looking at, and lots of moving parts for a pretty complex situation, which we, of course, have found ourselves in, whether we like it or not. It is our reality. But we'll be back again tomorrow, as I said, God willing, for another program. And we do hope that you can join us for that. I'm your host, Alex George Jr., saying goodbye.
said the Lord is I light and I salvation. I fear no evil one. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And a mercy make someone live like we. All of them are put war with benefit, with profit. Jailhouse, that's the benefit. Not a mercy. The Lord is my light, my salvation. Who shall I fear? No evil one. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil, I fear no one. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Me sing say, oh, I wonder if one day that some gunman will say that they want to go church. When the people down the party fight, I'm gonna see Father God, I'm gonna think with all dirty words. Killer, yes, see I'm concerned. Me sing, it's war you want, check the police and get it. And no other ball, say you can't defend it. Sort of up a camp, hey, you ready to say it. What's in police if I war, them I beg it. You war, then who will benefit? They dose the principal that she lost the profit. Stop make the man, what if you stop make the ratchet? Stop make the gun, what if you banana the ratchet? I'll make some more pants without 85 pocket. You Mr. Chocolate, me bucket. The Lord is my light, my salvation. Who shall I fear? No evil one. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil. I fear no man. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Me sing say, oh, I wonder if one day that some gunman will say that they want to go church. When they people down the 45, I'm gonna see Father God, I'll say nothing with all dirty words. Killer, yes, see I'm concerned. Now to me say me turn up in the dance like me name John Gatti. You make trench foot and have a double more chatty. That was just a little bit start to make my pants happy. Now tell me say yes and duck and I rush in them your copy. No Jim Brown or the notorious natty. What you want it on your black brother in a dopey. The boss you macky leather, hey me show you don't happy. Black man stand out for Selassie. Me sing say, the Lord is my life for salvation. Who shall I fear? No evil one. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil. I fear no man. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Me sing say, oh, I wonder if one day that some gunman would say that they want to go church. When the people see Father God, I'm put up the 45 and say that's it with my dirty words. The Lord is still I'm concerned. Hey, it's what you want, check the police and get it. On the bad ball, say you can't defend it. Sort of up a camp, hey, them ready to say it. I see police, if it's war, them I beg it. Because they get paid, yes, me and none protect it. You war, then no with benefit. They dose the principal and she loves the profit. Stop make the bombs, or if you stop make the rockets. Stop make the gun now, if you banana the ratchet. Or make some more pants with all 55 pocket. You Mr. Tan, you Mr. Jacket, me back it. Lord, it's my life, my salvation. Who shall I fear? No evil one. I walk through the valley of the shadow of the sun. I fear no evil.
I just listen up. Just get up and go. I ain't here for rise to the fullness. His own divine majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. So long we have burn them fire and some of them want to bring down themselves in a slavery. I just hit you up there the chant, you know. Yeah, what does it work without love? Put away your distrust and you go. Words without work is not enough. And every day you make a pulley journey get rough. What is this world without love? Put away your distrust and go. Words without work is not enough. And every day you make a tiny journey get tough. You remember when you're trotting through the valleys of the region, jumping the valleys and the doubts and confusion, beating obstacles so many trouble you go up and things are going the other way when I never saw you set your plan. Words of the wicked is pollution. Can't bring no stress, no strain in a Zion. Emperor Selassie is the only foundation. Only Emmanuel relieve the frustration. You want to be free from the corruption. Me tell you such is life from the creation. Only Marcus Garvey show the situation. I only chant for repatriation. What does it work without love? Put away your distrust and grudge. Words without work is not enough. And every day you make a fully journey get rough. What does it work without love? Hey, put away your distrust and grudge. Words without work is not enough. And every day you make a tiny journey get rough. From the things in life you can't walk away. Whatsoever it brings, it will have to stay. According to your works, I know you get to pay. Keep the smile on your face, make it an easy day. Me know them weak, so them gonna spray. Wolf amongst the shit, them the same way. See me on the creep to make a better way. 1 month fly the sea like King Selassie, I may say. Some of them must sleep even before them pray. Getting it right to come a lion bay. True and divine, only if you stay in the right line, you see the right way. Selassie will be blazing, I praise him. Remember that a blackness me still I say. What does it work without love? Put away your distrust and grudge. Words without work is not enough. And every day you make a fully journey get rough. What is this world without love? Put away your distrust and grudge. Words without work is not enough. And every day you make a tiny journey get up. There is no sense in turning back. Get right by your friend, well then you